up, Smith Game Friends? Welcome to the channel, and in today's video we are going to review another King Kong movie, but this one is already one that I already reviewed on the channel, but I'm doing it again, and that is King Kong 1976. That's right guys, the 1976 movie. And before we do guys, please just subscribe to the channel, smash that button, to this on. Just want to see more videos. Now, little friends, let's review King Kong that came back in 1976. So let's do it. So King Kong 1976. Sorry. So first of all, guys, you know, King Kong 1976 is a monster movie, and it's also a remake of the original King Kong. I have already reviewed the original King Kong on the channel. Guys, if you haven't seen that review, I'll post a link down in the description box below. You guys go check it out, really cool. So basically, yeah. And also guys, in my opinion, I absolutely love this movie. And the reason why I love this movie is because this movie, guys, is very different take on King Kong. So basically we got a different story, we got different characters, and basically it's on the same climax, if you say, of that film, right? So I remember watching this movie guys years ago, and I think it was, I had a DVD before that date, I don't know the DVD of it. So I watched it for the first time, and it was really good. So I find it very good. But because you know, I was a little kiddo, a little kid when I was watching with my family, and the roars actually got me scared. So I never watched it again. So until now, I actually watch it a bunch of times, basically. So I got this film from H&V, you guys know. Really cool film, guys. One of my favorite King Kong movies of all time. And this film and Kong Skull Island is technically very similar to each other. You guys know that, basically, yeah. So now guys, let's get into the story of King Kong. If you guys haven't seen this movie, go check it out. Really cool, might find it on Blu-ray, might find Amazon, HBO Max, anything else, go check it out guys. Really cool film, basically, yeah. So now guys, let's get into the story. So I watched the film a few days ago, and that's really cool, basically, yeah. So let's get into it. So it says Jack Prescott, not Jack Driscoll, a heroic and smart primatologist, someone who studies apes, you guys know that, who has stolen away on a oil company ship and see what the company are up to, where he meets Fred Wilson, the paranoid and greedy oil company owner, the CEO, right, who is on a huge quest to find this island with oil. But he and Jack doesn't get along until they meet Joan, a young enthusiastic girl who survived a huge ship exploded. So Jack and Joan fall in love and found the island. However, the natives on the island eventually sacrifice her to their god, who happens to be a giant gorilla, Kong, a ruthless and kind ape who taken Joan with Jack and the rest on his tail, and must save her from Kong. Can Jack be able to save Joan from Kong before Fred Wilson plans to capture him to civilization? So basically guys, this movie follows Jack Prescott, who actually then we actually stowaway on them. Stowaway it means like jump aboard, like jumps aboard without knowing, right? Without being noticed, right? So basically, he being sneaky, basically. So he jumps on the boat, on the ship, and this is where he's on there for eternity. So, so then we see the ship goes on this massive journey to this island, but before that, there, Fred and the other um, crew actually had this meeting about what they're doing, right? So eventually they found out that they looked for oil. They thought behind this fog bank, this massive fog, basically. And then Jack came in, and Fred's like, oh, who are you, and what are you doing on my ship? You're from an oil company, and everything like that. So Jack tells him a huge legend about this massive god who marries a girl and all that stuff. So they eventually tried to put him in the brig. That's the Navy word for jail, basically. But this is where, but eventually saw a raft adrift, and have to have a girl drawn who actually survived the explosion that was on the radio, basically over the storm. So anyway, they did that, and this is where she meets them, and she was about to make a movie with a great reference to the original, the 19 original, where it was called Denim. We tried to film a movie on the island, basically. Very similar. So anyway, yeah, he actually do that, and they was trying to get the outfits on, and the crew has been super creepy about it. They never seen one before, and they was like old dog jail on the ship, basically. So then Jack and her actually went to fall in love. Very cool, very very different, basically. So like you take baby steps, basically. So anyway, they got to the island, and Dwan begged Fred Wilson to take her on the island. So they do that. They take him on the island, and Jack to explore. They explore, and this is where they find the wall. So they find the wall with the natives taking this girl to be a human sacrifice, like a ritual to a god, basically. So anyway, they interrupted that, and I forgot what it was it chief or was it the shaman? One of them actually wants to sacrifice Dwan to Kong. Basically, that's they say Kong, as they say, right? So the Kong, basically. But Jack and the crew was like, no, you're not taking her. So they backed off and they went back to the ship. So this is very, very similar, guys. Where the native, we know the native comes, and they actually took Dwan, basically. They took Dwan, they prepped her for the massive sacrifice, and they got into the sacrifice, put arms by the side, wait for Tom to come in. And you guys know from the original, Tom was like an animatronic and some stuff, and also stop motion, but this time around they have like a man suit, like Godzilla was in 1954, and so forth, and so on, right? So they did that. Yeah, animatronic. They built like a fully animatronic Kong for one scene, but basically. So anyway, Kong got her. They go, and Kong wants to basically he's you guys get what I mean. So basically, Jack goes, well, the old Joe tried to rescue it on, well, Fred Wilson wants oil and you have to wait for like 100,000 years, like 10,000 years to get it. But you don't wait that long. So what do you plan to do next? So he planned to kidnap Kong, basically. Well, we know he'll do that, guys. We know he'll do that, right? So anyway, he did that, and well, before that, Kong actually was playing around with Dwan from Gabriel and stuff, and so she was full of mud. He take her to the actual waterfall to clean her up to the lair for him to, I'm gonna say this, rape her basically. So he got to rape her basically. So as Fred Wilson says. So anyway, Kong kills the crew. Jack goes to save Dwan while Kong was fighting a Taliban because Jack didn't know there's no dinosaurs on this island. And I'm okay with that because it's very, very different. So basically, yeah. So Jack and Dwan came all the way back to the wall where Fred and the crew actually spawned a trap on Kong when he bust through the gates and the wall and got knocked out, basically. So then he brought a British ship to take him to New York to represent to the public like a Beauty and the Beast sort of show, basically. So it's not inside, it's actually outside, basically, guys. I'm not getting too much. So, company later, we know Dwan as he calmed down Kong, and he was, as he gone berserk and everything. So basically, on the show, Jack don't want to do it. He's like, I'm not in for this, I don't want to do it, this is wrong, this is cruelty and everything. So, Fred's like, well, you don't want to do it. You want to do it because you want to be a star. You want to be a star, you could bye-bye and get lost. That's what he wants, right? So, anyway, he did that, guys. And, they did that, like, sacrifice visual recreation. But it didn't go well. So we know that, guys. We know this is coming. So we know Kong escapes and trying to get to Jack and Dwan goes and he's trying to get to her. So company later, they were on a train. They worked so well, and then they would end up in a bar where Jack on the phone to the drummers like, oh, we need helicopters to capture him, blah blah blah. While Kong got his arm through the double doors and he looked at the mirror in the window. He's like, hello, how you doing? So he like, hello, and stuff. Grabs her, takes her out basically. So he did that, and the army was there. And the army's like, wait, we can't kill. He's like, wait, we can't kill because there was a girl in his hand. So basically, they tried to find a way to kill him, but not hurting Dwan. So basically, he decided to do something drastic. So he goes up to climb the Twin Towers. You guys know Twin Towers. I know very tragic happened in 2001. As you heard about that, I feel sorry for the people who actually died from it. It's really bad, really horrible to see. But more eventually they must have rebuilt them, right? So he climbed up one of them and tried to do that mating thing with Dwan didn't go so well. So because they're interrupted by the helicopters, who got machine guns that they meant to have nets. So, well, the guy got the flamethrowers. He jumps, and they're all there. They're shooting and bang, 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 bang. Guys, this scene, all bloody, like bloom, 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 like bloom, on top. This is really, 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 really gory, really graphic. Like, you feel sorry for Tom. And so then he eventually got down, rolls off the building, and landed on the ground. Like that. Dwan saw, watch him, tears her eyes, watch him die. While the reporters guys taking photos and everything. Basically, yeah. So, guys, that was the story of King Kong 976. Let me tell you guys, I love the story, but I loved it when they do something a bit different. Instead of a movie crew, it's a oil company crew. I like that. And Fred Wilson did have some good spot. He has a soft spot, basically. But he's very, very, very greedy. But we know the true hero is Jack. We know that. Jeff Bridges is really cool, basically. Really awesome. Like, he cares for Tom. He cares, like, he's studies apes. He likes apes. Like, he works for apes. Like, look, he feels sorry for him, right? I don't know, guys, this movie, also, guys, before I got this movie out of 10, my favorite scenes is the opening, really cool. The meeting, Jack, the meeting, really cool like that, reminiscent of Tonto Island. Jack meet Dwan, that was awesome. Dwan reminds me of, what's her name? Weaver, Mason Weaver. Sacrifice, really cool. The guy with master like that, basically. The natives were really cool. Tom played for Dwan. That was really cool when she said to him, "Oh, you're Aries, are you?" He's like, what? Tom from Tugboat, that was really cool scene. He did like a tongue to jawbreak, basically. The show, really cool, where he wearing the crown. He's like, really, dude? You put a crown on your head? Seriously, man. Seriously. Tron's Rampage, really cool. You guys know, in Universal, there was a ride where there was a ride called Tron's Confrontation until they changed it to Tron, the Reign of Tron, right? They changed that. Also, guys, I'm going to be a quicker. The bar, Tron down, and then really cool bass, yeah. What guys, this film is a remake of King Kong 1933, linked below. And also, this film is a sequel of King Kong Lives. I reviewed that film, but I am going to do that again, basically, yeah. So guys, that was my review of King Kong 1976. Overall, the film was absolutely cool. If you guys haven't seen this movie, go check it out. Really cool film. Basically, yeah. So guys, tomorrow we will be reviewing Iron Man, the anime series. Basically, yeah. So guys, check out the links down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, like, comment,